Hello everyone. This is a no save, no damage, no shop items run of Resident Evil 3 Remake. Inferno difficulty, S rank, with a completion time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 49 seconds. Played on a PC at 120 FPS. The intro is about 6 minutes of primarily pressing forward to not lose, so I'll discuss the mods I'm using, as well as Inferno in general. I'm using graphical mods only, no mods that give me any kind of gameplay advantage. I've got a reshade and color cube edits. I've got the classic icons for the gunpowder and the inventory with that classic blue texture, as well as the classic startup screen, and the classic UBCS outfits.
Who could that be?
Classic is the name of the game here. I've also got special animations for Carlos. I think his movement animation is very strange, to put it lightly. So I've got a mod that takes his animations from one of the other games. I believe it was Reverse, which looks a lot better.
No way.
For full transparency, the intro was not actually part of the run. When I run this game, I run it no intro. So it starts at the ticket station, and I just added the intro in post for the full experience. The run was performed live on my Twitch channel, starting at the ticket station, which I have downloaded and uploaded for verification. We started off in Jill's apartment. We're out. We're going down the alley to meet Brad.
Over here.
We still got a few more minutes of pressing forward and skipping cutscenes.
You okay?
What was that thing?
Damned if I know.
How did this all happen so fast?
I don't know.
Now, Inferno is the hardest difficulty.
Always leads to another.
Enemies are even stronger than Nightmare. There are fewer typewriters and item boxes, and autosave is disabled. The adaptive difficulty rank starts at 11 and goes up to 19. At rank 11, we deal 85% damage. So if a weapon normally deals 100 damage, we only deal 85%. And that's the most we are going to be able to do. And it only goes down from there. As the rank increases, our damage goes down, all the way down to 50% at rank 16. At rank 16, in addition to 50% damage dealt, we take 360% damage. But of course, the goal is to not take any damage at all, so that doesn't matter.
Parking garage.
And then rank 17, 18, and 19 all have the same exact stats.
Sir, are you all right?
Stay back. Don't come any closer.
It's very difficult to manipulate the DA, the difficulty adjustment in this game.
I'm not going out there.
So once you get up to 19,
Garage isn't far. I can
The
take
only
it.
safe place.
you're basically stuck at the hardest difficulty for the rest of the game. You would have to dump a lot of ammo, use a lot of healing items, take a lot of damage before you would be able to drop it down any meaningful way. We'll reach DA rank 16 about halfway through the substation, which is about 20-ish minutes in the run. So about 20 minutes in, we're going to reach as hard as it's going to get. So pretty early on.
Shit.
The intro section, we do have a couple of zombies to dodge, and I'll talk about perfect dodging here. When you press the dodge button, Jill will do what I call a dodge step or a quick step or an evade, whatever you'd like to refer to it as. And Jill is marked for evasion for several frames. If an enemy attack is going to connect during those evasion frames,
It's my turn.
her quick step or her dodge step will transition into a roll. And when you get that roll, you can aim, and you will automatically focus on an enemy's weak point. I don't do a whole lot of that. I mostly do dodging just to avoid combat, as well as getting by enemies.
Sorry, we're gonna have to go around.
Hey, what do you know about that monster?
But it does give you a few moments of being able to
Nothing. I've never seen anything
focus
like it.
and get some shots
It's no
off
zombie. He
on
knows
an
what he
enemy.
wants and won't stop till he gets it. Don't you like that in a man?
No thanks. He's all yours.
Listen, I promise you're in good hands.
Specifically, it's about 2 seconds of auto aim at whatever the highest damage area of an enemy is
Kidding me?
currently
Are you
exposed at the time.
fucking kidding me? You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
Whoa,
You do also get an increased chance of hitting a critical.
You don't have to trust me, but I'm going to the shelter. You coming?
But like I said, I don't do that much. I primarily use dodging just for getting by. You can get a little bit more of a window to dodge if you aim whatever weapon you have equipped.
We need to get you geared
At the same time, you
up to street level.
hit the evade button or the dodge button.
All right.
We're almost out of the intro.
Jill, it's me again. You topside yet?
Working on it. So what's the plan?
The old tanks got me clearing the tracks. You mind getting the subway infrastructure back online?
And how do I do that?
Let's start by restoring power. I'll navigate.
Radio conversations pause the in-game timer. So if you'd like to save a little bit of time, you can let those play out while you move around. Now that we're at the ticket station, we got a bunch of stuff to pick up. In Inferno as well as Nightmare, you get the Magnum right away. We also have a hip pouch to get 2 extra inventory spaces, as well as 2 green herbs and a red herb. I pick up the herbs, obviously not to use them, but to manipulate crate RNG. If you have healing items in your item box, then you can actually manipulate the RNG of some of the crates you find around the city to give you ammo or gunpowder instead of healing items. Now, some are static. Some crates are going to be RNG regardless of what kind of manipulation you do. But most of the crates, we're going to have exactly what we want in them, which is great because we know exactly what to expect. We can build that into our weapon and resource management. To get us started going through the alley, using the Magnum, taking most of the zombies out, and then dodging by the rest. Once the 3 break down the barricade, taking cover behind the barrel, getting them lined up, and the goal is to take all 3 out with a single Magnum shot. If we miss one, it's 4 headshots and a couple of stabs to the body or a single stab to the head to take him out. So, not too bad if we miss one, but ideally we want to get all 3. Running down the stairs, popping the generator, grabbing a high-grade gunpowder. Then running up to the drugstore owner's apartment for our first safe. This gets us the dot sight for the Glock 19, which makes it a lot easier to use, and we are going to use it quite a bit. It eliminates bullet spread. It allows us to get our focus shots in faster. We're going to down her and stab her in their head. And then these 2, we want to get them lined up and with a single focused Magnum shot, knocking them both down before finishing off the parasite with ideally a single handgun round, but sometimes it takes more. Got a safety vest sleeping in front of the pharmacy. Gonna lure him over to this barrel here. But I've got my eyes on that crate. She's gonna climb out from under the car, gonna break that crate. There's a gunpowder. And then pop the barrel and run into the pharmacy and loot the place. And we'll have time to grab all of this stuff and get out before the crawler from under the car will get up and come into the pharmacy after us. 2 high-grade gunpowders gives us 2 Magnum rounds. Crafting is very slim in Inferno. 2 regular gunpowders gets us 7 handgun rounds. 2 high grades gets us 2 Magnum ammo, 2 Magnum rounds. And a regular and a high grade would get us 3 shotgun shells, but I don't make any shotgun shells in Inferno. The subway station's company offices, picking up the fire hose. The parasite guy that pops out. Gonna hit him in the back of the head with the Magnum, because he does have a lot of hit points. Otherwise, we would dump a lot of handgun ammo here. Followed by Red Flannel. I call him Sam. And then a Parasite Brenda. Then we go in. We can't get that shotgun yet. We don't have the bolt cutters. But we do open up the lockers. Get ourselves a high-grade gunpowder and a grenade. There's also a locker that's secured with a lockpick, which has a first aid spray, so we don't need that. Interestingly, they lock up a first aid spray, but not the hand grenade or even the gunpowder. Interesting choice. Up on the rooftop, got a couple sleepers here. Here's another Sam. Gonna stab him in the head repeatedly. Obviously, you do more damage to the head. And the knife is actually pretty, well, a pretty handy tool. You can do quite a bit of damage if you get those stabs to their head. And this is Discount Mia. She goes down in 3 headshots. Then we're going to finish her off with the knife. Picking up another gunpowder. Then deploying the ladder. And we can now put out that fire using that fire hose that we got. Specifically for zombies, damage to the head is about double to the body, so definitely worth going for. Tool shop for the garage. At the bolt cutters. Nicholai's going to do a magic trick. He just disappears. His arm is there in one frame, and then it's just gone the next. Down the alley towards the substation, we have 2 dogs. Gonna shoot the first one anywhere just to stun it. Then pop the generator. This gives us plenty of time to take him out. That's a fake out. The generator does do damage, but it does not kill. So we're saving some ammo by stabbing that second dog. And then we have 4 parasites here along the fence. If we don't get a crit, it's 3 handgun shots to the back of the head. With the parasite, you have to body stagger to get the front to open up, but the back is always exposed. That's a random crate, but we've manipulated it, so I get gunpowder there every single time. Towards the substation. Gotta dodge Susan there. Then up the stairs, dodge Greg. And even though we did a dodge and we dodged right past him, he did turn around and try to go for a second lunge. It seems to be random, regardless of what angle I take or how I go about dodging him, really. Sometimes they will just lunge after us.
Smells like... Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Zombies are capable of a double lunge regardless. But most of the time after doing a dodge, they give up after the first one. But either way, we do get that little speed boost from that dodge. Obviously, until we're done rolling, then we're back to our normal movement speed. So we do have a little bit of a space. As long as we keep moving, they won't catch up to us. In front of the substation, got the lockpick. And another crate that was successfully manipulated to have handgun ammo instead of something like a green herb or a first aid spray. Now that we have both the lockpick and the bolt cutters, we can proceed to loot the town. There's some Magnum ammo and high-grade gunpowder, the shotgun, a fancy box, a hand grenade. There's a lot of stuff that we can get. We could go to the substation right now, but I am playing it safe. Inferno is very unforgiving. Gunpowder and handgun ammo. We almost have a full stack of 60. And then we're going to head back to the main street. First aid spray in that locker, that is a static drop, or static item placement, or permanent item placement, however you'd like to refer to it as. It's always a first aid spray no matter what, so we're going to ignore that. Lockpick to open up the toy store, and that gets us a whole 2 Magnum rounds. I do collect all of the Magnum ammo in the game, and I do make as much as possible by only making Magnum ammo with the high-grade gunpowder, and I use up all of it, actually. High-grade gunpowder in the supermarket, where they have a fruit sale, and they do accept credit cards. There's Homer. Homer J. Simpson up on the donut. You can actually shoot him. He has 1 HP, so if you shoot him, he actually just explodes. On the way back to the subway offices, that circle of zombies that were all dressed the same, most of them have disappeared. There's 2 left, and they are parasites, so if you get close to them, they spawn parasites, so we don't want to deal with that. Here's Fred, the pharmacy owner. 5 headshots, followed by some knife stabs. There is a lot of RNG to this game, but fortunately there are some things that are very consistent. Like number of shots to down certain enemies. So we got that going for us. I instinctively want to go over to open up that lock, even though I know there's a first aid spray in there, so I have to remind myself, wait, I don't need to open that. I don't have to open up every lock I see, because I know there's nothing useful in there. We don't need to pick up any more healing items to manipulate the crate RNG.
This must be the subway company's offices.
Lockpick. Fancy box with, well, a different kind of fancy box, a fancy aluminum box with 5 shotgun shells. Once you pick up the shotgun, Kyle here gets off of the stretcher outside and will break into the door. 6 headshots to take him down. Next to Moon's Diner, some handgun ammo. And on the other side of this barricade, we have another crate. And here is another one that has been manipulated, so it's always a gunpowder. In the diner itself, another gunpowder on the table. And then more handgun ammo. This guy's blocking the door, so we're going to do 5 headshots and then just stab him. If you start stabbing him right away, eventually he will stagger, and then he will get off of the door and start chasing you. Obviously, we don't want that. In the locker here, got a hand grenade. And we are hoarding hand grenades for a couple of Nemesis encounters. Here's our last chain to cut with the bolt cutters. That guy will get up automatically when you walk by him. I just wanted to stab him for fun. The side alley here, another hand grenade, shotgun shells. And as soon as we pick up that fancy box, there is going to be a pair of sights, 2 parasite zombies that are going to spawn right at the gate here. Gonna run up to them, hit him with a couple shotgun blasts. Actually ended up taking one out. I used to do just one, and I would be able to stagger both of them consistently, until one time that did not work, so I elected to do a second shotgun blast just to make sure that both got a shotgun blast and both took stagger, letting me run by, luring them over to that barrel, and taking them both out. We have successfully looted everything. Now it's time to go to the substation. And the substation is a pretty common reset point. It's a rough one. One more batch of shotgun shells before we go. So we're sitting with 74 handgun rounds, which is a lot. We have just under a full stack. Our inventory is shoved full of guns and ammo. We are going to burn up through a lot of this ammo in the next couple of sections, but that's okay. It's all part of the route. For the most part, the intro and the streets leading up to this point are consistent. The substation is, I would say, the first big RNG fest. Because the enemies inside the drain demos, their behavior is a bit sporadic. So I'll break it down in detail as we go through. So we open up the substation with the lockpick. We pick up an herb because this is forced damage, and you have to use the herb to get rid of the parasites. Now the drain demos have around 200 hit points, so not a whole lot. But their behavior and their respawn mechanics are a little interesting. So for the first one, rounding the corner, popping the generator. The second one I like to hit with the shotgun. Otherwise, you're looking at 2 to 3 handgun shots to the head, or 5 or so to the body. And then sometimes that third drain demos will actually follow you right away. That's why I turn around and look behind me. Otherwise, when I approach the first breaker, then I just pop the generator if I can see or hear the drain demos near there. After those first 3 are taken out, the music will actually go down. Drain demos respawn about a minute after they're taken out. They will also respawn as soon as a breaker is tripped. When you first enter the substation, you've got 3 drain demos. After you activate the first breaker, there's 4. After the second breaker, there's 5. So we've got up to 5 to deal with. Music is down. One just showed up. I'm going to take him out quick. You notice that he spawns in and then he kind of runs away. Well, he could just kind of run away a little bit and then come right back for me, so I decided to take him out because we've got the ammo for it. Fancy box before climbing up the ladder. Still a 5 drain demos in play. After we activate the last breaker, there will be 7 drain demos, and their respawn timer will be shortened to basically immediately. So you can't clear them out and get yourself a minute or so to just waltz on out of here. They can't come up behind us from the ladder area, so we're safe to take them out from this corner. Trying to keep an eye, getting a shot on the claw. And when I had an opening, running forward, having the shotgun equipped just in case one was super close, we could take it out pretty quickly. From my experience, if there is one chasing you, especially if they're on the ceiling, and they're behind you, as long as you keep running, you don't stop, they'll do an attack, but they'll be too slow to actually hit you. But that's where they get you. You hear them and then you stop, you want to turn around, you want to shoot them, you want to do something, so it trips you up. Now on the way out, we need to make a very aggressive run and gun, checking corners, checking the ceiling, using the shotgun to easily clear the path. I didn't mean to hit the generator, but that actually worked out in my favor because it cleared out multiple. I got one chilling by the door here. It's not really sure what it wants to do. And I'm hugging the left wall, checking the corners as I pass by. A very aggressive run and gun. Used up a couple more shotgun shells than I would normally like to, but we still have enough to do everything that we want to do.
Carlos, it's Jill. I've restored power to the subway.
Nice going. Next up is the traffic control system. It should be in the subway company's offices.
Right. I think I know the building.
Really? Way to go, partner. One step ahead.
Not your partner.
Now we're going back to the subway company's offices. What I was trying to do there was running forward and aiming at the same time Nemesis would break through, because that actually cancels out your stagger. That was not a good shot. Normally I stun both of them with a single shotgun blast, but I got the dodge. And it took 3 Magnum shots to make Nemesis take a knee, but I was nice and close, so I did enough damage to where I don't have to do any extra damage to him. I just have to hit him with the barrel when I get him next to it in the next room here. Nemesis has 8,000 HP. A barrel will do 4,000 damage to him. So those 3 Magnum shots did just over 4,000. So I'm going to run forward, spawn Nemesis in. When he gets close to the barrel, and hit that barrel, he's going down. And we got ourselves a supply case. This is the first of 4 supply cases that Nemesis drops. And this one has an extended magazine for our Glock, bringing up the magazine capacity from 15 to 33. Hustling back to the offices.
Okay, back again.
Charging the pair with a shotgun blast. I usually use a second one, but that was actually a really good shot, and the guy in the back actually got knocked down completely, so that made that safe and easy.
The train is stopped at Redstone Street. We need to reach Fox Park Station.
I'd rather go to Stoneville, honestly.
Program that in.
It's Fa Rasa 232.
Consider it done.
Valid route. Confirmed.
Faust Avenue,
Carlos, it's me.
Raccoon
I've
Central,
finished inputting
St. Michael's Clock Tower.
Jill, you are amazing. Tough as nails, too. Hurry back to the station.
Clock Tower and the park, 2 locations from the original we don't really get to visit. I'm not reloading my handgun yet, because on the way out here, this is a, well, not really a special parasite, it's a scripted one. In lower difficulties, this would be the first parasite or tentacle head that you would see. So I just wanted to burn up the ammo in the magazine. There was a few left, but that's fine. We still have a really, really nice surplus. And now we're going to run straight back to the diner. We got a bunch of parasites falling down. And now it's time for the next Nemesis Chase. Gonna let him come towards me a little bit. Make sure that both him and that parasite get stunned. And then I'm giving him 3 point-blank Magnum shots. Provided I don't miss the heart piece, which obviously does the most damage. That's 150% damage. The head is 110, the body is 100. So hitting the heart is a huge damage boost. And then I just shoot him in the head a couple of times just to get him to come up a little bit faster. Luring him over to this barrel here, dodging out of the way, picking up that supply case. This is supply case number 2. This gives us a moderator, also for the Glock. And this gives us a greater chance of hitting a critical. Nemesis is down. Now it's time to run back to the subway station. Through the alleyway, we got a bunch of cops falling down, but we don't need to really worry about them except that last one. These two parasites here are very annoying. We just need to take body shots until they stagger. When they stagger back like that, we do have a nice window before they do anything. And I'm referring to specifically their obnoxious tentacle stab attack that they do. It feels like it has a huge range. It doesn't do that much damage, but it is annoying. So we've got the 3 fancy boxes. One from the pharmacy. One from that side alley next to the subway station's company's offices. And one from the substation. Putting a first gem in. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. It's always going to be the first one you put in gives you a hand grenade. The second one gives you a stock for your shotgun. And the third one gives you glorious hip pouch number 2. And that stock reduces the recoil of the shotgun. So it is a nice upgrade. Now we have the You Want Stars hallway.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
As long as we're moving right away, typically we hit the dodge as soon as Jill says the and stalk her. That's the most consistent cue that I've gotten, because it is kind of hard to see to like pan the camera while also moving in the direction you want to move. You're trying to hit that corner. You're trying to do a lot all at the same time. Now, typically Nemesis will do his big wind up to his uppercut attack, but this time he didn't. He went in for a double punch combo. But of course, 90% of the time he goes in for the uppercut. But not this time. He gets stunned by the generator. And we lure him over to these barrels. We hit him with it. There's 2 barrels there, so they take him out. He drops supply case number 3, and that gives us shotgun shells. An important thing to note about the generator and Nemesis, there is a specific animation that he does where it will actually
Carlos, do you
negate
copy?
stun.
Oh, I need to find another way out.
He kind of shakes his hand up near his chest because he's getting ready to do that face palm slam attack that he does. It's a pretty rare attack. But while he's doing that hand shaking animation, you can still damage him, but if you hit him with a generator, he actually doesn't get stunned by it. I lost a run to that once, and I know I hit the generator, and I know he was close enough. And I looked back, and sure enough, he was doing that hand shaking animation, and he's immune to stun during that. But we got by, and we're now in the sewers. By the time we hit the sewers, we have reached the absolute max DA rank, 19. And all we need to get started in the sewers is the shotgun, the knife, and the lockpick. I'm trying to aim and cancel out the little stagger we get from the hunters, but it's not necessary. It's just kind of fun to do. And we're actually baiting out their insta attack because it's actually the easiest way to dodge them. Got ourselves the grenade launcher and an explosive B powder. And then we're going to dodge that same hunter again. So we get a little bit close until it rears its head back, because then it's going to go in for a little bit more of a lunge. And obviously if you, touch it, it's an insta-kill. But we do have time and space to run by it. 2 parasites. Aiming at the first one, shooting them when they start getting up so they get knocked right back down. Reloading the shotgun to only have 2 shells in it. I'm doing that for a reason, because we've got an upgrade coming. Another dodge of the hunter. And I'm using the knife because the knife allows us to turn on a dime. The other weapons have a little bit more of a spongy or rubber bandy movement to them when aiming. Maybe not that bad, but not as precise as the knife. The knife is like turn on a dime. Got the battery pack for the sewers. We got some more powders, an explosive A, a high grade, and a regular gunpowder. The explosive powders are for the grenade launcher. 2 explosive A's make grenade rounds. An A and a B make flame rounds, and 2 B's make acid rounds. And we only get 2 grenades out of each mixture. Down this little side tunnel here, we got a crate with a gunpowder in it. This is another manipulated crate, as well as some shotgun shells. Next hunter dodge. Fade out, step back, run by. Equipping the grenade launcher. Shooting the hunter on the right to give us plenty of time to maneuver on this hunter. That flame round won't kill that hunter outright, but it stuns it for what feels like a really long time. And that's good for us. So the only things we actually kill in the sewers are those 2 parasites that come dropping down. Battery pack, and then going up the ladder. I was able to do that stagger cancel successfully. I'm just waiting for the hunter to come on over here. It'll try to attack us through the door. I'm just trying to get it to engage with us so it'll give up and then jump back down. And as soon as it turns around, we're going to start moving. That way it jumps out behind us and not in front of us. If you wait too long and you go to start moving around that little fenced area, the hunter will jump out and land in front of you. Obviously, we don't want that. Also, I never realized there was a coffee machine there. Trying to bait the hunter to come to the door. But then it decided it didn't want to, which has never happened before. So I said, okay, I guess we'll just, we're going to be careful, of course, but I'm skeptical. But I guess he went away. Grab the battery pack. We're going to go to the left, bait him out one more time, and then run to the right. And then just down the ladder, open up that door, and we're done with the sewers. The sewers are actually a very short section.
Carlos, can you hear me now?
Jill. Oh, thank God. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm alive. I lost him.
Great. The subway's ready to go. We'll leave as soon as you make it back.
And it's time for our next chase sequence. Headshot. Instead of dodging, I just take him out with a shotgun.
You can use weapons?
I stack most of my zombie dodges right near the beginning. And then when I get that surplus of ammo, then I start taking safety strats. So we take him out. We grab an explosive A powder. And we got another Sam here. I'm going to take him out. You don't have to take him out completely. We just have to shotgun him to get him out of the way.
I gotta get out. Quick.
So I don't need the shotgun anymore in its current form. When I go to use it next, I will actually have the semi-auto barrel attachment, and that gives us a free refill. So 6 free shells. If you have ammo in your shotgun, when you add that barrel, you don't get any extra, so those shells would just be lost. For this section, it's another one of those just keep moving forward. We're just going to keep moving and climbing until eventually we get to the top. Now for our first boss fight, I wish we had a button to just empty our inventory, because I like to do that when I'm getting ready for a next section. Let me just empty out my inventory and get the box. So first boss fight, the rooftop, all we need is the handgun, the Magnum, and 3 hand grenades. We're going to start by running to this back corner to pick up this pack of explosive rounds. And then we're just going to take shots at Nemesis, trying to hit his heart piece, whatever you want to call it, because that does more damage, of course. When he does that little backstep there, he has hit an HP wall at 95%. If you do any more damage to him, he will start his Rain of Fire attack, which will cover a good chunk of the arena in fire and make it difficult to navigate around. So as soon as I see him do that, I'm not going to give him the opportunity to do anything else. I'm just going to throw a grenade,
Carlos?
and then as soon as I throw that grenade, it's back to the handgun,
Loud and clear.
shoot him twice, once or twice more,
Yeah.
then the fuel tank explodes. When he gets up and starts moving, that's when I throw the next grenades.
Thinking.
If you throw the grenades and try to hit him before he starts moving, he has a massive damage reduction,
Don't start.
and you'll just end up wasting
Did what
grenades.
I had to.
I know.
After the second grenade, I just switch to the Magnum, just shoot him once, and he's done. Now we're heading to Gun Shop Kendo here, because we're certainly not going to the RPD. Not Jill, that's for sure. We're just going to be taking shots at all of these to try to get their attention. Come on over. There's a crawler there. He just kind of does his own thing, regardless if you shoot him or not. He just kind of does just whatever. So I'm just going to take him out, waiting for the others to get over here. And they're just going to chill. They're just going to hang there and point at you. I was trying to count, like, because I couldn't see that one right there. She is in the worst position possible. So I thought, can I get her to move at all? Because I can't really get a shot on her, like, at all. And you can't shoot through that really wide gap. So we're going to have to figure something out, because if I just drop down, she might get an attack or might lunge at me, like, right away, and that's going to suck. So let's at least take everything else out first. That guy in the USS outfit, very resistant to damage, including the barrel, because, you know, he has a special suit on. And now at this point, I spend a good, what felt like forever, but I think it was about 2 minutes, seeing if I could get her to move. And I'm thinking, can I get a shot on her at all from any angle? Can I shoot through any of these things? Of course, this happens during a live run, so I can't test it, and I didn't want to risk it. So the best thing I could do is wait for her to sway her shoulder into my sights, because if you damage the body, it'll eventually fall down, and the parasite will revive eventually, but that'll at least give me time to, you know, deal with it instead of just risking it. And this is clearly not something that Jill should be able to aim at. You can see the sights keep, like, shifting upwards. So I'm constantly, like, moving backwards and, like, trying to aim down and just taking shots at her whenever I can. It's like, just fall down. Just fall down. If I run out of ammo, I'll just have to risk it. There we go. Now I can take her out. If I can, you know, hit her. Now all of them are cleared out, and we're free to go to the parking garage gate, because we can't actually go in the RPD, which is what it is. We got ourselves a high-grade gunpowder. And then we're going to make a line for Kendo's Gun Shop. Which is in a very, very sad state of affairs in Inferno. All that's in here is the semi-auto barrel for the shotgun, and then 2 regular gunpowders. And then the key, of course. But that's it. There's no explosive powders. There's nothing else.
If you're heading to the station, take that service alley out in front of the shop, okay?
So now we're going to get our grenade launcher loaded up with explosive rounds. Getting that barrel attached to the shotgun. As well as getting out our hand grenades and our flash grenades. We're going to use all of this in this next section. There's a lot going on here in the next... It's like 2 minutes, but there's a lot going on. Through the alleyway. Parasite spawns in. It's going to hit him in the head, stagger him, run into the house here. Got another parasite here. And lure him around. We're going to take a shot at the legs as soon as they're in view. And then shotgun to the back of the head. And with the semi-auto barrel, it's typically enough to take it out in one shot. Or you can switch to the handgun to finish them off if you want to save a shotgun shell. Depends on how ammo conscious you're being. Upstairs in the room, lockpick. Gets us some more explosive rounds, and equipping our flash grenade. Our next chase sequence.
Launcher? Really?
Yes, really, a rocket launcher. 3 rockets around the corner, prepping that flash grenade, waiting just a moment before throwing. If you throw too early, Nemesis will not take flash, and it will be wasted. And then we're using our grenade launcher to knock these groups of enemies down. There's a regular zombie and a parasite zombie. And then further down the alley, there's just a single parasite zombie. So 2 explosive rounds, and then we just continue to dodge rockets. Switching to our handgun. This is one of Jill's fake damaged areas where she runs like she's injured, but she's actually not. And then she proceeds to climb up a ladder like completely normal. And then now she's moving fine.
Jill, you there? I think I know how to slow that fucker down. Head back towards the station.
And lead him right to you?
It's okay. Trust me.
All right, I trust you. Now we're going to run back, and this part used to stress me out, but I found there's an easier line to take. You don't have to do any fancy movement. You can just hold straight back. Run. I do the stair skating just to get myself a little bit extra space, but I don't think it's necessary. Stair skating just by tapping the aim button so I can move up and down stairs a little bit faster. Standing by the generator here, Nemesis is going to drop in. We go to dodge. We don't have to hit that perfect dodge. We just have to do a dodge, and then he kind of like moves us out of the way. We stun him with the generator. We hit him with 3 hand grenades. And then we hit him with a Magnum shot. It doesn't have to be focused. You could run up to him and just hit him with an unfocused Magnum shot. But if you're really close to him, then he might melee you instead of aiming his rocket at you. So the focus shot gives you more time to aim and more space. That was our final supply case. A batch of 6 flame rounds. And now we're just going to run towards Carlos. And we got ourselves a break before the next section.
Carlos, I know we didn't get off to a great start, but thanks for the save.
Hey, you saved my ass first. You're a hell of a lot braver than me.
We did not do any such thing.
Well, what matters is that we can get everyone out of the city now.
Yeah. Hey, you'll be safe.
What about you?
From the sound of it, I won't be catching the train.
Why not?
No, there'll be new orders. If it means I can help save the city, it's fine by me.
Make every day a health fast day. Now it's time to play as Carlos.
All right, keep your head screwed on, Romeo. This is the police station.
You sure? It looks like a cemetery to me. Come get some!
And we're going to promptly run away. In Inferno, Brad's card, his stars card, is actually down here. So we don't actually have to fight Brad. And what I used to do was I used to punch Brad. I would do Carlos's version of a dodge, which is just punching an enemy, which is pretty fun to do. And I thought it was fun to punch Brad. Until that ruined a run. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take leg shots until Brad staggers, and then I could just run by. And that worked until it didn't. And then I decided, I'm just going to hang out here and take pot shots, snipe them from a distance, because this is the safest way to deal with them. If you stand in that
Where'd that cop go?
little doorway,
Don't know,
Brad
don't
will
care.
just ignore you.
Got a job to do.
If you move into that courtyard area and he starts moving towards you and you go back to that doorway, he'll just turn around and start moving back to his
I thought this was a rescue.
starting position. It's very easy to manipulate
Carlos,
Brad's
take a
AI
look
there.
at this. I've located the STARS office. Remember, Bard had access to Umbrella's darkest secrets. He knows we'll try to keep him under our thumbs.
So this search and rescue mission is really more like find and detain. Right. Good to know.
I'll open the shutter so you can get through.
You stay here and find out what's been going on here at the station.
Call you if I find anything. Hey! Be careful.
Yeah. You too, man.
And I'm using the handgun first because I want to save my rifle ammo for later. So I prefer to use the handgun to start. Or for some certain sections, anyway.
What the hell was that thing? Here we go.
Running through the western hallway. Got a solitary zombie here. Then the liquor's gonna break through. We're gonna move out to the left, and then when the cop zombie breaks through the double doors there, we're just gonna shoulder shove. We don't have to time it perfectly to get any kind of perfect shove, dodge, punch combo, anything like that. We just have to bump into him, otherwise he will immediately turn around and back grab us. Now this next section can be a little bit tricky, and the part that makes it the most difficult isn't the sheer number of enemies that we're dealing with. No, it's the door. The door mechanics, the door physics in this game are not that great. They are a pretty big downgrade from Resident Evil 2 Remake. So I was trying to push open the door and get a line on at least the guy in the back and then the guy on the floor, but I went forward a little bit too far, so it aggroed the first group of 4. Then there's going to be 2 more coming out of that office. There's 1 more around the corner. Then there's 2 down that hallway. I can tell that the guy directly in front of me on the floor is still alive because he's holding the door open, which is actually very polite and kind of what I wanted. Okay, making sure they're all done. And I'm trying to position myself in a way so I can hold the door open. I want to be in front of the door. And I would prefer to have the door open like this instead of the other way. So there's 2 more coming out of that west office there. These zombies have between 600 and 800 HP. And a rifle round to the head does 75. These 2 sleepers actually wouldn't activate if we didn't look down here or we just left them alone. But I wanted what's in the box and I wanted to take them out because knowing my luck, they would get activated and then I would forget about them and then they would just show up later. Just 1 more around the corner. Shot off his hat and it immediately dematerialized. The west office. Got some rifle ammo here. Locker, more rifle ammo. Marvin's office, handgun ammo. And a safe. 9.15.7, just like in Resident Evil 2 Remake. And Carlos also gets Glorious Hip Pouch. And same thing with Jill. I pick up some healing items as Carlos to manipulate the crate RNG. Carlos doesn't have a whole lot of crates.
Stop shooting cops.
But there are a few, and it is nice to get some extra ammo. Dark room. We got a red herb, it's a rifle ammo, as well as more rifle ammo and handgun ammo on the desk.
Carlos, the STARS office is up ahead.
Copy that.
We can see that guy materialize in. Just, he wasn't there, now he is. Gonna burn up some handgun ammo. Take headshots here. Grabbing the key to the safety deposit room. Another green herb. So we got ammo from the first one. We got a green herb from this one. But now we should be good for the rest of the crates. Which there aren't any in here, but there are some in the hospital. But even then, sometimes it seems to be random. I'm not sure if there is really a way to manipulate the crates for Carlos 100%. Come on, liquor. So for the liquors here, there's 2 in the hallway. And what I used to do was I would just be able to walk, hug the wall to the right, and go directly into the safety deposit room. Until one time that didn't work, and then I had to change my strats completely for something that was 100% consistent. So what I do is I take a shot at the liquor as soon as I see its head, let it run down the hall, and then I go up the stairs just a little bit, enough to get it to de-aggro and run back. And then its position will be changed enough for me to walk to the west office. And as soon as you walk in the west office, they just freak out and they just run off. They go into different spots. I don't know why. That's just what they do. And the safety deposit room itself, 104, 106, 109. We've got Kevin here. He's sleeping. He would wake up when you grab the battery. And also Brad spawns in when you grab the battery. We also got some rifle ammo and a hand grenade. Let's see if I can hit Brad through this little grate here. rifle ammo is obviously... The rifle is my main weapon as Carlos, so I'm a little bit reckless with the handgun. Like, I don't need the ammo nearly as much. Then we just hug the wall to the left and run up the stairs. Liquor's not going to follow us. The men's locker room here.
Carlos, I've hit it.
Combo lock, CAP. Again, all of these are the same as in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and that gets us another flash grenade. Very important. We get a lot of use out of the hand and flash grenades as Carlos. We're going to toss a flash grenade, and we're going to run and go to the left. We're going to run behind or to the side of this palehead before punching. That way, it will also move the palehead that just broke through the door out of the way. Then in the stars hallway, we're going to hug the wall to the right. If we're not hugging the wall to the right, the liquor may jump back and then pounce us, and then it's run over. And I discovered that because I didn't hug the wall to the right one time, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, the kids still got it. Let that be a lesson to all dartboards.
And as is tradition, we got to shoot the dartboard. So now we're done playing as Carlos for now. And we're going back to Jill for our next boss fight.
Am I the only one who made it? Carlos, come in.
Now we found some mine rounds for the grenade launcher. We can't make those, we can only find them. And all we need for this next section is the grenade launcher with mine rounds and the flame rounds, the shotgun, and all of the shotgun ammo that we have. My shotgun ammo count does vary a little bit, but so far I have always had a full box of 20, plus at least one extra, between 1 and 5 extra, in another stack. Another exciting chase sequence where we press forward to not lose. And now it's time for the Clock Tower Nemesis fight. We're going to open up with a flame round, switch to the shotgun. I'm going to try to hit him in the head. He does kind of move around a lot. We get 5 or 6 shots in. If he takes that little stun where he reels his head back, we can get an extra shot in. And then we're going to wait for him to jump, and then we're going to dodge underneath him. Or through him or behind him, however you want to view it, because that will give us time to reload, and that gives the flames time to die down. And that way, we can maximize damage, and we can maximize our window before he attacks us again. When he does that stun roar, that means he is at 14,000 HP. He starts with 20,000, he's at 14,000, so it's 70% health. He's going to start wall running. He opens up that stars van for us, that police van for us, which gives us some extra shotgun shells, which we need them. And then we're going to use a mine round to knock him off of the wall. We're going to get some shots into the parasite. He's going for a ground and pound. He's all mad. I'm getting some distance just to make sure he's not going to charge me. He's not. He's going straight for the wall.
Gotta find a way to stop it.
I did a little bit more damage than expected, so he did his ground and pound early. He typically does it after the second parasite, or the second parasite exposure. He also did his twist attack, his twister, or somebody called it the Donkey Kong smash. gaining some distance because sometimes he will charge at you and attack you on his way to get to the wall to run.
If I can get a mine in front of it.
Yes, if I can get a mine in front of it. I sometimes miss that wall. That wall, for some reason, is inconsistent. And then I realized that I launched a flame round, not a mine round at it. So that was on me. I screwed that up. But we were still fine.
Carlos, you... Oh, come on. You're gonna crap out on me now? God damn it.
There are extra flame rounds in the arena behind where you start. So I messed up that fight a little bit. I got the position of the mine wrong. Honestly, it seems to be random when he runs by that particular wall. That's why I typically go for the wall that I first launched the mine at. But I wasn't fast enough to get it there in the first place, and I didn't want to run the risk of, well, is he going to do another full lap? Because he doesn't always. Sometimes he would just stop and he'll do something else.
Okay.
Fight's over. We loot the arena.
Promised.
And now we're back as Carlos. Carlos MD.
Tyrell, where's Bard now? Gotta be.
We've got ourselves a liquor hanging out here. And I've actually opted to take it out completely. We go through this room twice as Carlos and twice as Jill. And while you can walk and dodge by it, I would rather just take it out to be on the safe side. I have seen the liquor aggro and get people with cheap hits going through the door. And I've got the ammo for it, so to me, it was worth it.
I don't got time for this.
Now we can run freely.
Welcome to the office of Dr. Nathaniel Bard.
Bored.
Please state your business clearly.
Really gotta emphasize that B. Now for the emergency entrance, we've got 5 zombies to take out. We've got 3 of them standing. 1 is sleeping on the stretcher over there, and 1 is sleeping right in front of us. So I'm playing what feels like a game of whack-a-mole, and just taking shots at them. And counting my shots here, make sure I got enough. And taking my time with these, making sure I maximize my damage here, minimize my waste. But I don't want to move too far forward because I don't want the sleeper right in front of us to wake up. Before I'm ready, that is. Take some headshots on her. She's faking it because she has more than 600 HP. If you know which zombies have 800 HP, when they do that animation, you know they're not dead yet. They're faking it. They have about 20% of their health left. Fun fact, that guy who just fell there actually has 800 hit points, according to the SRT. But then his health bar disappears as soon as he hits the floor. I learned a lot about this game. Really diving deep into the mechanics. We had a sleeper on the roof, taking him out. Got a tactical grip for the rifle. And that reduces the recoil of it. And a key for the locker room. Back up the stairs here. This time, in this corridor here, we're going to have a hunter. Hunter spawns early here. And we're going to take shots at the face. Obviously, because the face is where you do the most damage. Before we break off the armor, it's 70% damage. Once we break off that armor and that face is exposed, it's 200%. So that's a huge damage boost. And we're just camping in this doorway because we can just back up and the hunter will run back to its spot. We get its attention with a single shot and then just wait for it to kind of get in our sights. Line its face up with our rifle. Two sleepers here. Well, three, but we already took one out. 800 HP apiece. So 750 damage with the rifle, followed by, well, the remainder with the handgun. In the locker room, we got a flash grenade and the hospital ID card. Not only is the ID card a key item to get us an item for story progression, it also gets us access to an optional room which has a lot of excellent resources in it. But first, we got to deal with this hunter. And we're going to deal with it by running to the right and looking up, and we're just going to run right by it. And that's it. We don't actually have to fight that hunter. I was second guessing myself. It's like, did I grab that grip? I don't remember. And yes, I did. Now in the nurse's station here, we've got a liquor. And we actually don't want to fight this one. So we're just going to try to get its attention and lure it around these benches here so we can just walk by. There are multiple zombies in the sick room, as well as a box of 30 rifle rounds for Carlos and a high-grade gunpowder as Jill. But we would have to deal with all of those zombies, either as Carlos or Jill, and then deal with the liquor as well. So I actually skipped that entirely. I don't think it's worth it. ID card into the observation corridor. And we've got a pale head. Gonna wait for it to kind of run into that wall there before taking shots at it. Pale heads do regenerate their health very quickly, but they do get slower as you do more damage to them. So they do become easier to hit. Now for the treatment room, I'm going to pop open that door and throw a grenade. And if my grenade throw is good, I'm actually going to damage both hunters. And as soon as this hunter comes to the door, I start taking shots at it. As soon as I run out of ammo, then I attach the dual magazine that we just got from the safe in the nurse's station, opened up with combination 9-3. And because I had a good grenade throw, I'm actually going to take this hunter out as well. Because I typically just do a flash grenade, so I skip that ammo. So I would use up a flash grenade anyway, but not get that ammo. So I use the same amount of resources because I get that ammo to cancel out the ammo that I just used. it works out nicely because now Jill doesn't have to deal with that hunter when she backtracks here in a little bit. Now the emergency entrance, we've got 4 zombies that will break through. Shelly there will always hit the ground and do some kind of like fake out death looking animation. Or like she struggles to get up. And that's Mike. Mike has given the door legs. He's an excellent maintenance technician. And that's just Sam with a different outfit. Come on, safety vest, what are you doing? Can I shoot through the glass? I don't actually think that would have hit, even if I was actually, aiming correctly. Also, I've never noticed that umbrella stand until just now. Okay, so I don't have the crates manipulated for Carlos. Oh well, not like I'm dependent on that. But still, it would be nice. Now in the operating room, we got ourselves a lot of good stuff. Hand grenade, flash grenade, handgun ammo, rifle ammo. And we've got the tape from the treatment room, so we can get into the office of Nathaniel Bard.
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing in your office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard.
Bard. And I like to think that's how he gains access to his office. When it asks for clearance, it's like, who do you think you're talking to? And it's like, yeah, this is our guy. That sounds like him.
Tyrell, Bard's dead. He's been shot.
Shit. And the vaccine?
Well, look harder. All right. We punch the computer and the door opens magically. That's what we call percussive maintenance.
All right, Joe.
We got the vaccine sample. Now it's time to head back.
T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful. Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
I love Tyrell's such a great character. Now for this hunter, I recently learned that you don't actually have to throw a flash grenade there. You can actually just run straight for the door. I did it 10 times in a row, and the hunter never got me. And I thought about doing it here for style points, but then I realized this would be the time I would get hit.
You're gonna be okay.
The only reason I don't get hit when I test it is because the run is already dead or it's just practice.
Better grab some gear.
The game knows. It knows exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
All right, siege section, also called the cabin, the Carlos cabin. We've got ourselves a bunch of enemies coming through. Gonna take out the initial batch with the rifle. Then picking up the ammo and switching to the handgun. And basically what I want to do is just burn through my handgun ammo so I can unequip it, get rid of the shortcut for it, and focus on just my rifle. Yes, the rifle is more fun, and I'm going to want that for later, but focusing on using the handgun if I can hit anything. There we go. It's easier to hit them as they're climbing through the windows. All zombies have 300 hit points at first, so 4 headshots is enough to take them out. And I'm not taking my time to carefully line up shots. Honestly, I'm pretty much mag dumping at this point. Just like, here, I've got this ammo to spare. Let me just burn it up. When the lights go out, a hunter's going to break through the door behind us. Then the zombies will get a little bit more of an HP boost, a little bit of an HP range. They're going to have between 300 and 400. But also parasites will be in play. So the best time to use the handgun is before the lights go out.
Oh, come on. Find the breaker. It must be somewhere.
We've got a few moments here before the hunter breaks in. Throw the grenade. And the grenade will always one-shot the hunters. Now you can go in that room. There's a flash grenade, a hip pouch, and you can turn the lights back on if you want. You don't actually have to. You can continue to fight in the dark, which I think does look pretty cool. There's a parasite, an obnoxious parasite. Alright, now that we have a breather, I'm going to turn the light on for safety. Because, I mean, obviously it is easier to see in the light. Now, once these shutters pass that light there, the light fixtures, we're going to be wanting to keep an eye out on the two windows in the middle, because another hunter will come in. And because I used a grenade on the hunters in the treatment room, I don't have a grenade for the hunters here. So I came up with a different strat. So I'm just hanging back, because if the hunter jumps in and I'm caught off guard, then I've got a lot of extra time and space to react. Like right there. So I'm going to throw a flash grenade, because I've got 3 flash grenades. Just going to throw a flash grenade, mag dump to the face. Rinse and repeat. And the flash grenade will also stun the other enemies as well, so it makes cleanup really easy. We're just gonna hit the generator. Grab the detonator, plant it.
Right? Explodey way it is.
And that's going to start a 30-second countdown. We're done playing as Carlos. We don't have to worry about bringing ammo with us. Your DA is locked at this point, so even if you were to shoot off hundreds of rounds and miss, it actually wouldn't change it. So we're just burning up ammo, because what else are we going to do with it?
Carlos, you all right?
Not even close.
Not even.
But at least it's over. We're done playing as Carlos. Back to Jill. We're going to do some hospital looting before we go underground.
Right. Guess I'm not talking to you. The storage facility is underground beneath this hospital.
Got a couple crates here. They had handgun ammo in them. Sometimes these still have healing items in them. These are also crates that I'm not sure if it's possible to manipulate. There's also a couple of crates underground, as well as one in the nest, that appear to be completely random. So the crate manipulation that I mentioned was definitely good for the streets. But I'm still not 100% sure on the other ones. But that's okay, because anything we get down here is just a bonus. We do have enough to do everything as is. We don't even need the crates. But it is nice to have extras. We're going to dodge step through that emergency entrance area because a hunter is going to burst out of the operating room. And hunters actually ignore you if you dodge step. They can't hear you. So we ran into Bard's office, grabbed an explosive B. And now we're in the staff room where we got not one, not two, but 3 crits in a row. I had to pause and think, did that really just happen? Is this run blessed? Is the game not cursed for once? I was planning on using up the rest of the ammo in the magazine just because we're done with this handgun. I just wanted to burn up the ammo and let it sit empty. Lockpick to open up that locker. 12 shotgun shells. Back in the treatment room for an explosive A. If the hunter was still alive and by the door, depending on how it goes about chasing Carlos, if you exit the room fast enough or it gets hung up on something and it doesn't quite start chasing you, the hunter may still be in its original spot. But more likely what happens is the hunter is camping right by the door. So you can just launch mine rounds at the door and it'll damage it through the door. It takes 3 mine rounds to take out a hunter. Jill can squeeze by. And where you would normally get the Magnum on lower difficulties. Hardcore, standard, and assisted. We get Magnum ammo. There's 10 Magnum rounds total for us to pick up. And we're going to dodge step our way to this locker here. Because this has 6 explosive rounds. We would need 6 explosive A powders to make 6 explosive rounds. So just finding a stack there is really nice. We've got one more lockbox to open, which will get us more Magnum ammo. So in total, we've got an explosive A, an explosive B, 6 explosive rounds, 12 shotgun shells, and 10 Magnum rounds. And we can actually discard the lockpick. Start making our way underground. It's green herb. Sometimes it's handgun ammo. And this payload here, I'm just baiting out. I have no further use for this handgun, as I mentioned, so I'm just burning up the handgun ammo. I won't do enough damage fast enough to it to kill it anyway, so this is just for fun.
This must be the way underground.
You may have noticed the autosave icon in the upper left corner. That is a safety save in case of a crash. I have heard from some other Inferno runners that there has been an infinite void glitch that has happened to them.
How is it no one in the hospital ever noticed all this?
I don't know if it's specific to PC or frame rate or what have you. but I've heard it from people in the community and people that I've known for a long time. I've never personally witnessed it, but I'm not taking the chance. So I made a safety save there just in case we did get that glitch where I just fall through the floor. And to reiterate from the beginning, this run was performed live on my Twitch channel. So you can see it performed without any reloads of any sort. Down in the underground storage area. In the office here, we have Glorious Hip Pouch number 4. Did some powder mixing, made some acid rounds. We're going to shoot that pale head with the Magnum. And we're going to try to take the elevator.
I must admit, I respect your tenacity. But I'm afraid our games end here.
You think this is over?
We take out that pale head early. Otherwise, it would be falling down and we'd have to deal with it. So we've got the shotgun, we've got the grenade launcher with flame rounds, we got the Magnum, and we've got the knife. Got a couple more crates down here. Now this first fuse here, which is actually labeled number 3, we don't grab quite yet. And I got an interesting combination from the crates here. A gunpowder and a green herb. Typically I at least get handgun ammo from one of them, but one time I did get 2 red herbs. 1 in each. Climbing down the ladder, using a flame round on that hunter, giving us plenty of time to run by. We don't go by that hunter anymore, so we don't even have to kill it. We can just run right by it. Solitary Zed gets the shotgun treatment. And then running around these platforms, raising this platform so we can get to the other side to get the actual first fuse. And I'll explain why we skipped that quote-unquote first fuse when we get back around to it. But for now, we have a high-grade gunpowder. Down the ladder and towards the fuse. We got a fake out because there's actually nothing in here. So this is fuse number 1. Another container opens up. It has 4 dogs and a hunter in it. A hunter gamma. But we can just hit the ladder and start climbing because as soon as we're on the ladder, we get iframes. They can't do a thing about it. Before we lower this platform, box of 12 handgun ammo, which is a pretty generous box. Not the biggest, but not the smallest either. Lowering the lift, opening up this aluminum case, gets us the shell holder. This is the final upgrade for the shotgun. It effectively doubles our reload speed because it allows Jill to load 2 shells at once instead of 1. Now in the storage room here, we're going to focus Magnum shot on the pale head there, followed by shotgun, these 2 guys. Shotgun shells on the boxes. And back down the ladder. Gunpowder on those crates, and fuse number 2. Now we do have a hunter that shows up, but the hunter is actually more interested in the crate than us. So we can actually just run straight for the ladder, and the hunter will just leap straight for the crate. So we don't have to fight it at all. Now before we go get fuse number 3, we're actually going to go shotgun these 3 guys here. Because they're actually parasites waiting to happen. So if we had that other fuse, they would have spawned their tentacle heads and they'd be wandering around right now. So we skip that fuse, we get the other two, we come back down, we take them out with the shotgun. Now we can grab the fuse and they're done. They're not going to come back.
All right, here goes.
Fuses are in place. Now we can take the elevator.
Shit, he got away. What was he?
This way.
No, not this way, Tyrell. This way. Because we have an extended barrel for the Magnum.
We'll find the vaccine up ahead.
Which gives us a nice damage boost, as well as a shorter time to focus. It also reduces the recoil. And even though I expected it to take up 2 inventory slots, because, I mean, it is pretty big, it doesn't. So there is no downside whatsoever to getting it. And we're just high-fiving and thumbs-upping the door. Because you kind of have to be touching the door to initiate the cutscene. One time I was just standing there like, I'm at the door, why is it not going? I had to actually like run into and collide with the door before it went. Now we are in Nest. Nest 2. This is the final section of the game. And we got some handgun ammo, some high-grade gunpowder. Making some more Magnum ammo. And we have a few zombies, but quite a few paleheads that we got to clear out. And because I have so many extra mine rounds, I like to use a mine round against a palehead to knock it down, slow it down, and it makes for a very easy headshot with the Magnum. Because when they're at full health and they're at full speed, they're kind of tricky to hit. They're kind of twitchy. They're kind of annoying. In the experiment room here, we got a high-grade gunpowder. We have an essay on vaccine synthesis.
Override key successful.
And this will actually change the dialogue when Jill picks up the parts of the vaccine, which I think is a nice touch. I like things like that when you pick up a file or you interact with something and it changes dialogue later. It's a nice little attention to detail. Now we got that override key, and that's going to unlock the experiment storage area. And we've got a zombie. Gonna take him out with the shotgun. We got some paleheads here. First one is getting the mine round Magnum combo. Second one is also getting the mine round Magnum combo. Third one is just standing there staring at that bag. That giant black trash bag looking thing. If you approach it, it will actually spawn a tentacle head. It's actually a parasite. So we want to avoid that.
Oh, an antigen sample. I'll definitely need this for the vaccine.
Laboratory, we got a sleeper, taking her out with the shotgun, getting the antigen sample. It's originally called the culture sample. And Jill's kind of funny. It's like, I forgot which one she says for which piece, but it's like, Okay, this looks like it could be used for vaccine development, or, well, I'll definitely need this. Like, she's not 100% sure. Like, she just knows she needs it. But the essay gives her that confidence, those cliff notes, those spark notes. She studied. She knows. And there was one more pale head in the server room, so we took it out. And doing some inventory management. What we need is actually kind of a lot. We kind of do a lot here. This is another one of those. It's kind of a short section, but there is a lot going on here. We need the acid rounds, mine rounds, the shotgun, the Magnum, and the handgun. Specifically the burst handgun. And I almost forgot the acid rounds from this case here. Because this is the only acid round pickup in the entire game. And we get 2. The rest we have to make. And we only get enough explosive Bs to make 4 more. So we get 6 acid rounds total. And we have 5 hunters that we need to use those acid rounds on.
These are tyrants.
Through the bioweapon incubation room and up the lift to the walkway. We've got a pale head, followed by 2 USS parasites. Those are the guys that have the flame-resistant body armor, so they're pretty tough to deal with. Now we've got a pale head. We're going to hit him with 2 mine rounds. Going to do a good chunk of damage. Shotgun, and then switch to the burst handgun to finish him off. It sure is. The liquid-filled test tube.
Sample. These are combined with antigens to increase immune system response.
Which is the adjuvant sample. High-grade gunpowder, explosive A. So there's a lot of powders up here. A lot of fancy cases and powders. So we're not going to mix those other powders yet because we only want to have the acid and mine rounds in our inventory. And I've got 6 of each. That's more than I need. But it's always nice to have extras. And I'm going to de-shortcut the Magnum because I'm going to do some quick shooting as well as what I call tick switching. So the grenade launcher actually fires very slow. So for the first batch of hunters here, we're going to wait for the second one to get up close to its friend. And then we're going to hit him with acid rounds. And in order to shoot faster, I switch weapons. And then I immediately switch back. That reduces the firing time quite a bit. And then I follow up with an acid round. And what I do to fire faster, or to reload faster, or I should say switch the grenade types faster, what I call tick switching, is I hit the button to change the grenade types, and then I switch weapons, switch back to the grenade launcher, and they will automatically be loaded in. You don't have to sit through that whole animation of Jill taking out the old grenades, putting the new ones in. We're going to see a lot of that in the next fight, because all we have left are the 2 final bosses. Well, and a mid-cutscene interactive shot that we have to take, but we have 2 boss fights left. So while we're going through this,
To begin vaccine synthesis, place the materials
mid, high, low. for the vaccine base to get the vaccine. Again, to quick shot with the grenade launcher, and I do plan on making a video tutorial of this to break it down in more detail. You fire, switch weapons, and then immediately switch back, and it allows you to fire more quickly. And if you want to tick switch or quick switch your grenade type, then you hit the button to switch grenades, and then you switch weapons, switch back, and that will automatically be changed. Very, very, very quickly. So we get the vaccine. Nemesis doesn't want us to have it, but we're taking it anyway. And we are now in the workers' break room. We have a lot of stuff to pick up here. There was a crate there that has an RNG pickup. And fortunately, it was a high-grade gunpowder this time, which means we get an extra Magnum. Now, I could have gotten the high-grade gunpowder from the sick room, but I opted to skip that, but we got it here, so it's fine. Now, for this fight, we need the grenade launcher loaded up with the flame rounds, and we need every single flame round and grenade explosive round that we have. We also need the shotgun. With at least 14 shells. 14 or 15. We'll count them as we go through the fight. Just kidding. The fight's going to be a little bit off because I did screw up pretty badly, but I did make the recovery. So I'll explain what is supposed to happen, and then obviously we'll see what did happen. So to open, we're going to hit Nemesis with the flame round and hit him with 5 shotgun shells. We're going to dodge underneath him, roll underneath him, reload, and then we're going to hit him with a flame round. 4 more shotgun shells. I accidentally fired a 5th. That's fine. Reload. And we're going to start the cycle. And the cycle is 1 flame round, 3 explosive rounds. And we pretty much repeat that. There is a little bit of a variation for that once he gets down to a certain HP, but I missed a shot. And I thought, okay, I managed to recover here. I hit him with an explosive round. We're back on track. But it was too late. Enemies already spawned in. So I'm going to continue hitting him with the 1 flame round and 3 explosive rounds while also trying to manage these enemies. And basically what I want to do is I want to get them near me so they take damage from the blast radius of the explosive rounds. And we got a pale head too. I don't like that. I'm going to take him out for safety. So I'm just repeating that process. Lure him over, lure him over. 1 flame round. I'm almost back on track. Typically, when he starts doing that animation, I hit him with 6 shotgun shells, but I only hit him with 4 before running off. All right, we finally got most of them lured over. There we go. Now the arena is clear, and we're mostly back on track. What was supposed to happen was 1 flame round, 3 explosive rounds. 1 flame round, 3 explosive rounds. And then 1 flame round, 2 explosive rounds. And that brings him down to his second phase, which is 16,000 HP out of 20,000. Or excuse me, 12,000 HP. And that's when he starts pounding the ground. So we hit him with 6 shotgun shells as he is pounding the ground. And then after the 6 shotgun shells, we back up, wait for him to start moving again. And then we hit him with 2 explosive rounds. And then we repeat the cycle. 1 flame round, 3 explosive rounds until we're all empty. Now I did manage to make the recovery where I did use up all of my explosive rounds. I did use up a few more Magnum rounds that I wanted to, but that's okay. I don't rely on having the Magnum for the final fight, but it is nice to have.
To get that vaccine back.
So, quick recap. Fight starts 20,000 HP. You get down to 80%, which is 16,000 HP. That's when the cutscene with Carlos happens. And then the next phase, when he grounds and pounds, that's 12,000 HP. When we're all out of grenades, and we're done with the grenade launcher, he's at about 10%, about 2,000 HP. Now for the final boss, Final Nemesis. We're going to activate the railgun to get us started. This is the actual first phase. He typically starts with a drum roll, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slam. But this time he went straight for the 3-piece combo, where he does alternating overhand slaps. And that's okay. Moving into an arm sweep. When he does an arm sweep, always does the arm he starts with, the opposite arm, and then the first arm again. When he's done with arm sweeps, he will always go into overhand attacks. But whether they're the alternating ones or a single arm doing 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 slaps, that is different. Baiting out that arm sweep, exploding that last pustule. The burst handgun really putting in work because 3 rounds with it will burst a pustule. And we got the 2 cycle. So we did the arm sweep, we dodged the arm, we destroyed the pustule, we pushed in the power cell, and then we ran to the back to hit the other one. Now we actually skipped phase 2 and went straight to phase 3. And phase 3 is Nemesis, he's all red. He's just big red. And he does have quite a bit of downtime before he starts attacking, so he actually destroyed a few pustules before he did anything. He did a 6-7 overhand slap where he does 6 quick ones and then a pause and then a 7th one. And then he tried to get us with that double overhand slam. Now that doesn't always connect. We did the dodge, but it didn't actually like initiate the perfect dodge. And that's expected. We were just out of range of it. And we were close to the last power cell when he went down, so we had plenty of time to push it in, get back to the railgun, the finger, and initiate the finishing cutscene.
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
We have officially given him the finger. The ferromagnetic
Good riddance.
infantry. What was it called? Ferromagnetic infantry use next generation railgun. Finger for short. It is technically portable, although the term portable is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Now, all we have to do is not miss.
Can't let Nicholai get away with that vaccine. I hope Carlos managed to stop it. I can still catch him.
You're not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
No, don't care. My client ordered me to reduce umbrella to rubber.
10 minutes until missile impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine.
Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the chance.
It's you! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way.
The real final boss. Don't think, just do.
Carlos!
Hey, I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel. What about him?
Why'd you do it?
There's a price tag for everything. Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working for?
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
I don't mind a little detective work.
Jill, you all right?
There it is.
Finally over.
So long, RC.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus. It was greed. Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
Roll credits. That concludes this no save, no damage, no shop items run of Resident Evil 3 Remake, Inferno difficulty, S rank, with a completion time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 49 seconds. Thanks for watching.